Could you imagine being the kind of person that could look somebody in the eye who is pouring their heart out with tears in their eyes, explaining something maybe you've done to hurt them, or just explaining maybe just the basic love language that they need in order to feel loved, and you looking at them and being like, why are you always trying to argue? Everything's a fight to you. You just literally want to argue about everything. You can't ever just be fine. Why can't you just shut up and be fine? Can you imagine that? Could you imagine looking into someone you say you love and being like, shut the fuck up. I don't care what you have to say. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to do this. Oh, here we go again. Oh, it's always the same thing. Imagine asking for the lowest amount of respect and being told it's too much.
So I can imagine being that type of person because I've been that type of person for the last 30-something odd years of my life. And if you're new here, I'm a narcissist. Actually, I'm a narcissistic personality disorder. If you're dealing with some narcissists and toxic people, when you express your feelings to them, they take it as criticism. Especially if it's negative feelings, if it's expressing how bad they make you feel and things like that. Because as a narcissist myself, I view it as criticism, and you know how narcissists are with criticism. We attack. Or we shut down. We retreat within ourselves and things like that to avoid the shame that comes with, treating you badly and things like that. The shame that could be coming with you trying to hold us accountable for how we're treating you and things like that. A lot of times, if you're trying to express your feelings to a narcissist or a toxic person and whatnot, they'll tell you to leave. If you're not happy here, why don't you just leave? If it's so bad here, why don't you just leave? Or they'll say things like, you're too emotional, you're too in your feelings and things like that. Because a lot of narcissistic people, we don't like being emotional. We don't like being emotionally vulnerable because we view that as weakness. Because somewhere in a lot of our past, being emotionally vulnerable led to our trauma or things like that made us narcissists and toxic people. And we all know if you're crying in front of some narcissist, they're going to get angry. Your tears make some narcissists angry. And sometimes your tears turn some narcissists on. So if you're crying and begging and pleading for the bare minimum from a narcissistic person, they might actually try to sleep with you. It might actually turn them on. Whew, you made me sweat at you. You look good when you cry. And these responses I just went over are only going to come from negative expressions of emotions from you. If you express positive emotions like, babe, you're treating me so good. I love how you treat me. They'll respond positively to that. A lot of narcissists and toxic people know that they are treating you badly. They just don't want to hear about it. But here's the kicker. Sometimes they'll tell you to leave. And if you try to leave, they'll beg and plead and cry and, accuse you of not loving them enough to fight for the relationship. You never loved me. You're going to leave that easy? Wow. To a lot of narcissists, your feelings are not their responsibility. Hope this helps.